Hello, good day, SS1 students. Welcome to our lesson for today. I remain Nemeka Nkocha. In our last lesson, in the last lesson we had last week, we discussed feudalism, the meaning and characteristics of feudalism. Today we are proceeding from there to look at the next political ideology, that is capitalism. While discussing feudalism, we saw that feudalism, is a system in which power and influence depended on how much land somebody owns or is under the control of somebody. Today we shall look at capitalism. Capitalism is quite different from feudalism, but it was the the system that followed feudalism immediately. How did feudalism decline and how did capitalism start? We are going to understand that now. First of all, let us understand the meaning of capitalism. Capitalism is an economic system that supports or that involves the private ownership of resources, private ownership and control of factors and resources of production. It is a system in which capital plays the central role in the activities of production, and that capital is owned and controlled by private individuals. That is capitalism. It is also called the free market economy, or it may be called the free enterprise, the free market economy, or the free enterprise economy. It has little or nothing to do with dependence on land, even though land is one of the factors of production, but it is not a system that depends on somebody's size of land or how many people are paying tribute to you. In fact, nobody pays tribute to anybody. What people pay is taxes. Let us look at the origin. How did capitalism start in human society? Capitalism started as a result of a decline in feudalism. Feudalism declined for so many reasons, especially because of the advent of money economy. Money came to play a bigger role in economic activities than land. People began to earn salaries. The factory system was introduced, particularly during the period in Europe called the period of the Industrial Revolution. The factory employment system was introduced. You did not need to be someone cultivating land again for you to earn money or for you to live. You can now work as a factory worker and get money. Inventions, big inventions that mechanized various industrial operations, inventions of machines to till the land, machines to produce different things like cloth, like paper and so on. All those things were introduced, and so people began to depend more on skills, began to depend more on capital, began to depend more on employment than on land. In that way, capitalism took its roots, and then feudalism declined. Even those that had so much land began to dispose of land in order to acquire capital and establish factories so that they can be part of the new emerging economic system, which is capitalism. In that way, capitalism started from Europe and then spread throughout the rest of the world. All right, that is the definition and how capitalism came into existence. Let us look at the characteristics of capitalism. What are the characteristics of capitalism? The first is that capitalism involves the existence of social classes. There are three particular social classes. Many of our books will tell us two, but there is a third one that is rarely mentioned. One is the bourgeoisie, Can you see bourgeoisie? Pronounce it. Can you pronounce that word? Bourgeoisie. 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 No, Geo. Geoisie. The bourgeoisie. That is the people that own businesses, who are employers of labor, who determine the fate of others by paying them salaries and wages. That is the people we refer to as the bourgeoisie, the capital owners of capital, owners of business, employers of labor, the big men in the system, the people in the upper class. That is the bourgeoisie. We have the proletariat. The proletariat are the working class members of the community, those who are employed to work as factory workers, as civil servants, as laborers. Those are the proletariat. Proletariat refers to the middle class or the working class. The one that is rarely mentioned is the peasantry. These people have little or nothing to contribute in a capitalist system, but they exist. They exist. They are the people for which government sometimes embarks on social welfare activities, trying to carry them along, establish health facilities to take care of the poor. So these are the people who are actually the poor in the capitalist system. Their existence makes some meaning. Not that they contribute much, but they are there to take much from the system because they are poor. Something like that. And that is the social classes. Secondly, the second feature is that capitalism is democratic. It is democratic. It operates democracy. Are you with me? Thirdly, in capitalism, the market forces determine prices of goods and services. What are these market forces? The forces of demand and supply. The forces of demand and supply. They are the factors that determine prices of goods and services, how people ask for particular goods and services, and how the providers provide them. So that is what determines the prices. Government does not make laws to determine prices. We are going to see a system. After this, we will see a system in which government fixes prices of goods and services. But in this system now, the demand and supply for goods and services is what determines the prices. Okay, next is that there is the allowance for ownership of private property and private business. Private property and private business. People are allowed to own private property and private business. That is why some can establish factories and employ others. That is why people can build their own houses. That is why people can buy cars, because private property is allowed in a capitalist system. The next is that there is inequality in wealth distribution. Inequality in wealth distribution. Distribution of wealth. Distribution of wealth is unequal. Not everybody has the same quantity or the same capacity or the same amount of wealth in a capitalist system. Finally, we have profit making. Profit making is the major target for doing business. Anybody doing business in a capitalist system is doing that business to make profit, not to help humanity, not to serve the public, not to help people, not to help the poor, but to do what? To make profit. To make profit. Because when you invest money into a business, you are expecting, when you invest money or time or any other resources, you are hoping that you will sell and get back your money along with a profit, so that your money will grow. All right, these are the characteristics of the capitalist system. Find out from your textbooks. Maybe you can get 2 or 3 or additional 4 characteristics and continue learning from there. Today we are going to end this at this point in time. find out before the next lesson. Go and find out the character, the advantages and disadvantages of capitalism. Advantages and disadvantages of capitalism. Continue staying safe. Coronavirus is still moving around. Stay safe and be happy. We shall all survive this. See you later.